Okay, thank you guys for making some time to listen to our case studies on beers and breweries dataset provided by Budweiser. So let's get right into it. And what is the scope of our project? So the scope of our project is to provide the summaries of beer and breweries data and find some interesting fact about ABV and IBU. ABV stands for the average alcohol content by volume, and IBU for the international bitterness unit of the beer. So, and also go deeper into the relationship between ABV and IBU and how that can be of important to the Budweiser. So we also use machine learning KNN classification to classify the two types of beer, which we'll cover in detail. And lastly, we're going to find some interesting relationship between ABV and ounce by different states. Okay, we had two different data sets, beer and breweries data, and provided by Budweiser. So after we merged the data set, we had quite some missing values, like 2.5% of them, and the highest one was IBU. So what we did was we made some realistic assumptions saying that a beer can exist without bitterness, but probably not with alcohol. So what we did was we excluded all the ABV's observations with NAs and replaced all the IBU NAs with a zeros value. So, as we were doing analysis on breweries by state, so each state has a lot of breweries, but interesting one here was the Colorado, because the Colorado has the highest number of breweries, and even within Colorado, the two major cities, Denver and Boulder, has the highest number of breweries. So why do Colorado has the highest number of brewery? And it's because of their water quality. The water is extremely suitable for producing a great tasting beers. So thus the regular water alone has about 80 to 90% of the water chemistry that is required to produce a beer. So why is that? So why is water so suitable for producing beer? It's because the perfect mixture of the magnesium, sodium, sulfate, bicarbonate, and calcium, which determines the hardness of water and ultimately leading to the production of great tasting beer. So they were also known for winning a gold medal in 2017 at a Great American Beer Festival. So, and here we also spent some time in two states, New Hampshire. So why is New Hampshire interesting? Because New Hampshire has the highest beer consumers. People from the other neighboring state also comes to New Hampshire to buy the beer because they have a no sale tax. But the only problem is they have only 3 breweries. So it'll be a interesting for Budweiser to look into the other new opportunity in that states. So Utah has the lowest consumers and 4 breweries. All of them are clustered in Salt Lake City, and also they have a law that maximum allowed ABV is less than 4%. So what we find out is that most of the breweries are concentrated towards the west of the Mississippi River, which we can see in this dark orange states. So we spent some time also in North Dakota and South Dakota, because North Dakota and South Dakota, they have the higher beer consumption per capita but the less number of breweries. So we think Budweiser could consider both of these states for their new brewery project. So these two states, Washington and Oregon was kind of interesting because their consumption has increased by 9% in the last 5 years, and it is continues to increase, so there can be a potential opportunity there as well. So we also did some math on medians, ABV and IBU, and we come up with the finding that West Virginia lies in the middle when it comes to IBU, and Arkansas is at the bottom. And also about IBB, we found that Nevada again comes in the middle. They're the one they likes to drink alcohol with a high alcohol by volume in it, beer with a high alcohol by volume in it, and Utah has the lowest ABV. So the maximum IBU, so what we found out that Oregon has the maximum IBU of 138, and that's because they have lots of craft beer, and they are famous for craft beer, and craft beer are normally more bitter than the regular beer. And what we found out is that the more state had IBU greater than 90%. That means people like bitter beer. The bitter the beer, better the taste. So there can be an opportunity to do further analysis on if bitter tasting beer is more selling than just the regular beer. So maximum ABV. So again, we found out that Colorado has the highest ABV, highest alcohol content by volume, and delivered the lowest one. So we also did some statistical analysis on our data to make sure that we have the proper data. And what we have found out is that there might be some outlier on the left and the right, but data is but the data is almost normal, and also we have enough observations, so we are using central limit theorems to meet our assumptions. And here on the right we have three different types of the beer, that is ale, IPA, and other, and we can see that IPA is the highest among all those three types. So the relationship between ABV and IBU, from the scatter plot you can see that they have quite linear, positive linear relationship between them. However, we need to do further investigation to see if there is actually a positive and strong relationship between beer content and the bitterness. And here the graph on the right again showing the same correlationship between IBU and ABV, and also the different types of the beer. So our machine learning KNN classification was pretty good in predicting the type of the beer, and our accuracy is 83%, which we think is pretty good for this our model. And we did that classifications using our optimum k values of 3. And how did we get that k value? And we did 100 iterations, and we got the k value to be 3 right there. Okay, and this final chart we are trying to learn the relationship of ABV and the ounces. So what the main takeaway from this chart is that the best selling beer is 12 ounce and 16 ounce. So a lot of these states they sell 12 ounce and 16 ounce, and the California again has the top. California and Colorado are the top two states in selling 12 ounce and 16 ounce. And again, as the ounces we see that rises as the alcohol content also increases. So this is covering basically the same things, and if you have any questions I'll be happy to answer, and thank you guys.